What up, Get Up Nation? My name is Ben Biddick, the host of the Get Up Nation podcast and co-author of Get Up, The Art of Perseverance, with former Major League Baseball player and CEO of Lurongliving.com, Adam Greenberg. Welcome to episode 18 of the Get Up Nation podcast. On April 17, 1955, a young right-hander from Puerto Rico who served in the Marine Corps Reserve donned a Major League Baseball Pittsburgh Pirate uniform and became a legend. He played 18 seasons in the major leagues. He hit safely 3,000 times. He helped win a World Series twice and earned Most Valuable Player honors during one of them. He was a National League Most Valuable Player in 1966 and won a Gold Glove Award 12 times. He was a four-time National League batting champion and earned a slot on the roster of the All-Star Game 15 times. He was the first Latin American and Caribbean player to be welcomed into the National Baseball Hall of Fame in 1973. He was a legend, but not only for these reasons. During the off-season, Roberto helped manage the Senadores de San Juan and involved himself heavily in charity work. He tirelessly served the less fortunate. When an earthquake struck Managua, Nicaragua, Roberto refused to let the cries of desperate people in that country go unheard. He arranged emergency relief flights to take resources to the people suffering there. When he learned corrupt government officials prevented the resources from reaching the people in need, he decided to personally deliver the resources on a fourth flight. The fourth flight was overloaded and crashed into the ocean near Isla Verde, Puerto Rico, due to engine failure. Roberto left behind his wife and 3 sons. He died at the age of 38. President Nixon posthumously presented Roberto with the Congressional Gold Medal and the Presidential Citizens Medal. President George W. Bush posthumously awarded Roberto the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Every year, Major League Baseball presents the Roberto Clemente Award to a player who is not only an excellent performer when it comes to the game of baseball, but who is personally involved in work that serves the community. A trophy and donation are presented every year during the World Series to the winner. It's a fitting legacy for such a phenomenal person. The world lost a tremendous man in that plane crash. An amazing woman, Vera Clemente, lost her husband, and 3 sons lost their father. Roberto Jr. continues the brilliant legacy of his father with numerous accolades of his own. He currently speaks around the country about the Roberto App, which serves people to better understand brain health and decrease stigmas and misconceptions about mental health. He bravely shares his own struggles on this podcast episode as he suffered post-traumatic stress from the loss of his father at the age of 7 and battled alcoholism. It is an honor for this podcast to participate even in this small way of contributing to his family's legacy. Thank you, Roberto, for taking time out for the Get Up Nation podcast. Your father said, anytime you have an opportunity to make a difference in this world and you don't, then you're wasting your time on earth. Of all the challenges people face in the world today, why do you feel it is important to prevent any wasted time when it comes to mental health?
We, for many years, did not know the impact, the mental health, and what it encapsulated. Being able to understand PTSD, being able to understand when we're talking about substance abuse, it's all related to brain health and mental health. Right now, for me personally, I was just diagnosed with PTSD, which I've had all my life since I was 7 years old because of the traumatic event in my life when I was 7. And besides that, I've been around the brain health issue and technology because of my experience. I suffered at least 15 concussions before high school, and I knew there was something wrong. I've been treated in brain centers, in a brain center in Dallas, Texas, 8 years ago. And I actually learned a lot about myself and what was going on and really answered a lot of questions. So being able to really share the information of how we can really monitor our brain performance and brain health is very important to me. And obviously, one of the things that I having that information is for me to be able to share it.
Thank you for sharing that. One of the focuses of this podcast is to encourage and support those who have experienced post-traumatic or chronic stress. So to learn more about the value of the Roberto App from your perspective as a survivor is very valuable. Thank you.
For me, really, just to go back very quickly, understanding the audience and the PTSD side from all the symptoms and the challenges that we all suffer, because I suffered them myself, and being able to understand and be committed to really understand what's going on and be able to figure out how to handle it and manage it is very important. But I was able to connect with Clarence Carlos because of technology. And thanks for LinkedIn. We were able to connect 8 years ago, and I learned what he was doing at the time with infrared technology that was being able to detect the hematoma of the brain with a handheld device, which military is using it right now on the field. But I figured that was something that we needed for kids playing sports in the fields in high school, because the protocol right now is actually to take them to a CT scan. And for me, that's a no-no. Many people may know or not know that one CT scan, is the equivalent of 400 X-rays. So we are trying to figure out how to avoid that. So that's what we're doing right now. But that's how I got together with Clarence Carlos, and they were working on this technology with the University of Texas, Arlington, Dr. George Kondrasky, who is the founder of the Human Performance Institute. And for me, has been an amazing experience to be able to really understand how the brain works, how we can really monitor it, and being able to really use the technology of the app to really have all the numbers that we need for the different thoughts from our brain, and how we react, how we're doing, and what's the effect, and how we're doing better. So for me, it's very important that we all have our numbers, because life happens every day, regardless of if we have PTSD or not. If we are right now at the stage, we need to know that we are here and we're normal. This is our normal. Being able to establish that number from this point on, any changes, we'll be able to monitor those.
It's very easy to download the app. It's available in a number of different platforms, and each session only takes 6 minutes a day, correct? So it can easily be incorporated into a daily exercise or wellness routine.
Absolutely. It is very simple. We also have the clinical version, which is being utilized by the former NFL players that are involved in the lawsuit. And that's part of the protocol to be able to get to the list of being paid in that lawsuit. So it's a 12 minutes, so this is half of that test. And this is something that we're very proud of.
Neuroscientists have discovered that the brain continues to experience growth throughout our lives. So basically, anyone can benefit from using this app at any age.
That is correct. I mean, age 5 until really 105. So this is the elasticity of the brain will always continue there, no matter how old you are. No matter what's going on, we can actually rewire our brains in 21 days. We really want to be able to rewire the way the brain is working. We have the ability of doing so. So we can do anything that we actually put our minds to do, as long as we have the structure and spend the time to be able to make the change.
This is ideal for those who need to ensure they're thinking clearly and operating at their highest mental potential. I immediately think of medical personnel, first responders, military members, athletes, and students.
We can actually live without limbs. We can live without organs, but we cannot live without our brains. Our brains actually dictate who we are, how we think, everything that we do every single day, every action, every thought, every word, everything that we do and who we are, how we speak, how we laugh, how we react to different situations, is actually our brain. Without our brain, we cannot live, we cannot do anything. So this is who we are. We need to protect who we are. And for us, I mean, for me, kids, anyone out there that is actually, healthy, for example, and we need to make sure that we have that number now before anything. Could be an accident, could be a fall, could be an illness that affects our brain's performance. We need to know what that is. We need to understand who we are today so we can make sure that we stay in that path and become better.
The Roberto App is helping not only individuals but also organizations when it comes to the Brain Readiness Program. How does this program help with employee safety and risk mitigation?
Well, when you talk about athletes, all right, athletes have to go and warm up before a game. And people don't understand, like in baseball, for example, If you have a 7 o'clock baseball game, we're there by 3 o'clock. Okay? We're there at least 3 o'clock, 2:30. We're already taking batting practice, doing some things, and we actually warm up again before the 7:05 game. That's how we actually are tailoring this program for employees. They're athletes as well. They're doing their job, be it construction, it could be something physical, it could be sitting at a desk, but your brain must be ready to be able to perform at its highest, right? So this is how we are able to make sure that the company is making sure that, number one, the risk management of that company, it really affects the bottom line of that company. Avoiding accidents, being able to understand that if someone is hurting and they take a pill, for example, for some reason it affects them in a way that it's actually making a risk and being a hazard at the workplace, being able to understand that that person that day in particular is not feeling completely ready to go and may have a risk to have an accident, we can avoid that by using this app, making sure that the supervisor, the risk manager, or director has everyone on point, being able to use the 6-minute app before they start work, making sure that they're ready, their brain is ready to go work, and have a productive and efficient day. Otherwise, at least instead of going to a risky place on the workplace, being able to put him to the side, take a nap, or move him to a different part that it's not going to be as risky for the company. So there are many ways that we can actually really tailor the information that you need as a company to make sure that you're efficient and the risk are really being minimized for the safety of your employees.
I've seen that you've been speaking lately to youth programs and schools, especially in the wake of the acts of mass violence that are happening in the United States. How is this helping young people?
We all have our issues, and today, the kids today have so much available in terms of information, technology, social media. We sometimes forget that there's so much information, and how they're accessing that information is affecting them in terms of their brain and society, from bullying to the stress of society that they're really taking upon themselves is pretty powerful. So being able to understand it's okay to raise your hand and ask for help when you feel like you need help, not be able to continue to really try to keep that inside and not share that information, how you're feeling, because this is how we're getting into some situations where after really hiding and keeping that inside for so long, kids are exploding. People are, the kids are committing suicide. They're going out there shooting. They started thinking the wrong way because their reaction and their feelings are really taking over. We need to make sure that we can really monitor how our brains are performing, how we are doing on the brain health side, and making sure that they understand that it's okay to really raise your hand and actually ask for help. We are all working together to really make it a level playing field for anyone that's suffering, that no one is going to be ridiculed. We are all in the same spot trying to really make it a better place for everyone involved, and the stigma of mental health has to go away. I mean, the actual substance abuse is actually an illness that's all about mental health and mental illness. So the brain health side and the American Mental Health Association has adopted the app, and we're very proud of it. We're really happy that everyone is now open to the conversation after all these shootings and this one in Parkland, and now more happening, that we're trying to avoid those happening and making sure that the young people understand that we care, and we're there to be able to listen to them, making sure that we provide them the right tools for them to understand what's happening inside of their brain.
There are testimonials at robertoapp.com and mybrain365.com from organizations that serve Alzheimer's patients, those suffering from multiple sclerosis, as well as Hall of Fame sports legends. Why do you think so many people are responding so positively to this app?
I think because really this is the only really technology. People, they will hear about app games that have like Lumosity or other games that are targeting the brain. This is the only one that is actually really focusing on the performance of the brain itself. This technology can actually validate what other companies are saying. This is actually a true objective data tool that we have. For the first time, we have objective data of how our brain is performing. So I am very proud that it was named after my father as an extension of his legacy of helping others. But this is something that created in Pittsburgh area. It's something that Carlos was able to come up and dream and was able to connect with Dr. Kondrasky. It's something that is invaluable information for us to have in our back pocket, regardless if we use it every week, every month or not. But being able to have those numbers is so important. That is something that not you alone, but the whole family needs to have this information in so many ways. Even for your parents, for example, live in a different state. You want to make sure if you want to take care of them, well, yes, you need to make sure that they're playing the game once in a while. You can check, hey, Dad, Mom, play the game. I want to see how you're doing. You can set it up where you can actually get the result of their session on your phone, and if there are any red flags, make sure that they get to a doctor because there's something going on. But there's something that gives you peace of mind in any way, in every single category, in every single vertical in life. This thing covers.
Amazing. This app certainly continues the selfless legacy of Roberto Clemente by helping people embrace excellence in everything they do in innovative and dependable ways. Thank you for sharing your time and service with Get Up Nation as we seek to be our very best. I always end the show with 6 quick-fire questions to help my listeners understand how my phenomenal guests generate such power, impact, and resilience in their efforts. Will you run through these 6 quick questions with me?
Absolutely.
Who are you thankful for today?
Number one, I'm thankful for God to have given me the opportunity to live a life that has been full of obstacles and turmoil and greatness and happiness, sadness, anger, everything that I've been experiencing, everything that I've done. My mother for being a rock to the family after my father's accident, and my father that left a legacy for me to be able to help others by really extending and using his name to open doors to help other organizations that need help and need their voices to be heard.
What are you thankful for today?
Well, I am very thankful for understanding myself and at least understanding who I am and how my brain works. Because for many, many years, I had doubts on many emotions and many things that I was trying to do or avoiding doing. And now I have the answer to that, so I'm thankful for that.
How do you fuel the fire within you?
Well, I can tell you that being able to be around young people and being around veterans, being about people, listening to people, and really understanding what is going on out there with everyone. I'm not alone. I'm actually listening. All I can focus on right now is how to help them, and that fuels me.
What was one thing adversity taught you to value?
Oh, I think being able to... That's a great question, Ben. I think just perseverance. I think that being able to have that mindset and find a way when you're down that you know it's going to be okay once you get to the point that you actually are really fighting to get out of that hole. And once you do, how you feel that you were able to really come out of that black hole from depression, from all the stuff that you thought you were never going to come out of, and how beautiful life is once you get out of that and be able to try to figure out how to stay there and never go back. For me, it's actually something that I have learned, and I'm really grateful that today I understand how to do that.
What are you doing today you never thought you could?
Wow, staying sober. I am sober today. I actually battled with alcoholism. I actually, for many, many years, I was trying to really cover the pain and really numb myself for many, many years. Being able to understand now that I don't need to do that, that is something that is very powerful to me. That is something that I cannot wait to write my book, because I need to share my story, because it is very powerful to understand that today I am sober.
And then what will you do tomorrow that you never thought you could?
Oh, well, I'll tell you what, this is, for me, I am a grandfather. I have 3 beautiful young daughters. Well, my baby is 21. I'm a grandfather of 3. And I was done. And now I'm actually expecting a child, my first boy, Roberto Clemente Jr.
Wow.
I thought God had a sense of humor and sent me 3 beautiful girls, and that was it. I'm here 22 years, and I want to be able to go and take my son to play sports, because I've never done that before, and I'll be able to do that sober and really understanding how beautiful life is.
Really appreciate you taking time out to share your life and be vulnerable. Thank you for taking time for Get Up Nation. How can people learn more about you and the Roberto app?
You can go to the app store, download, go to www.robertoapp.com or mybrain365.com. For me personally, you can follow me. I actually just revamping my social media, the R. Clemente Jr. 21 at Twitter, and I am actually going to start now promoting the Clemente Jr. brand, and that is something that I'm going to be doing on clementejr.com. So just check me out on the Twitter account, and I hope to see you guys soon.
Thank you for your time. You are such an inspiration, sir.
Ben, thank you for the opportunity, my man. I appreciate it.
Episode 18 of the Get Up Nation podcast is dedicated to the amazing people of Puerto Rico, especially to the family members of Carmen Roche, 2 of which are great fans of Roberto Clemente and his family. Alberto and Edgar Roche of Milwaukee and Janesville, Wisconsin, and the Roche family, this episode is dedicated to you. I want to mention during this podcast that you still have time to register and donate to the ms4ms.org's event called the Spartan Sprint at Washington National Stadium on May 12, 2018. For those who are passionate about serving those suffering from multiple sclerosis, check out the benefits of the RobertoApp.com and go to ms4ms.org to see how you can unite in solidarity with others in Washington Nationals Park to ease the suffering of those battling multiple sclerosis. Go to ms4ms.org right now to be part of something you'll treasure in your heart and mind for years to come. You can also flash back to episode 8 of the Get Up Nation podcast to hear the CEO of ms4ms.org, Sam Greenberg, share his passion for creating this event in collaboration with Johns Hopkins MS Center. Stay tuned for more episodes of the Get Up Nation podcast and subscribe for email updates from Get Up Nation at getupnationpodcast.com. Join the nation today. It ain't over yet.